Hello, and welcome to another 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm Ralph Fan, aka the Confidence Coach. And for 30 years, I've helped women just like you show up looking and feeling their absolute best. And so we're going to continue on today with our 15 Minutes of Fame. If you're joining me for the very first time, 15 Minutes of Fame is basically where I take ordinary women doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their communities. And I've been kind of taking you on this journey with our pageant queens because, in preparation for the documentary that I'm working on, which I'm very excited about, date like TBA for sure. But this next guest, I want to bring on, I mean, she's just since day one that we met, to be honest, like she has just been a delight. I feel like we vibe right away, just so supportive. She's a queen herself, but I think I was just like most like touched about how she just kind of stepped in and supported me. Like, we met at my fundraiser and I just thought that that's so cool. She's coming to my supporter, supporting me at my fundraiser. And we just kind of been talking and vibing like ever since. And I'm excited. So Aariyana Britton, I'm going to bring her on and she can introduce herself and tell you a little bit more about her. So welcome,
Hello.
Aariyana. How are
Hello.
you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. Just
Thank
hearing you talk
you.
about me, just being backstage and hearing you talk about me, I was like, oh my gosh, did I do that?
Oh, yes, that's so cool. Yeah, no, literally, I will never forget. Like, I
Oh,
sent out the invites to, I don't even remember. It couldn't have been personally because we hadn't met yet. So, but I had, posted my event that I was going to do, our Wine Women Woosah fundraiser. And, then you responded, you were coming and you did, and then donated to the fundraiser. I'm like, that is just so cool for someone that's, a pageant queen herself to be supportive of like,
absolutely.
my fundraiser and help me raise my sponsor fee.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And it's funny because I actually saw on your Facebook page, so I know our pageant sponsors this year and the director, she made a group chat for all of us. So we have a Facebook group and all of that. And I actually saw you posted it there and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she lives like 20 minutes away from me. I could definitely like go to this." So after that, I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely going to go." I definitely 100% love supporting just other women in general, but especially other pageant queens.
It's very cool. So tell everybody, and I just appreciate it, of course. Continue to. I will always just be like, so like that is just so cool. It just not that it should not happen, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't happen too often. Yeah.
it doesn't happen too often. That's why I try to be very, supportive myself,
Hmm.
with other queens. So tell everybody a little bit, more about you and like your work, because you got some cool things happening in your
Yeah.
work.
I do a lot. That's crazy. I do a lot. So my name is Aariyana, guys. I'm 23 years old. I currently live in Richmond, Virginia. I am Miss Richmond 2022. I do a lot of community involvement, especially with my career. I'm in school to become a medical doctor. So I do a lot of primary care prevention and disease research, as well as cancer research. I actually work at VCU Massey Cancer Center. So I do a lot of that, and that's kind of, we'll touch base on that in a little bit, my platform and everything that I have going for myself. But the best thing about this conversation is that we're both pageant queens, and that I've been doing pageants I think for about 3 years now, about 3 or 4 years now. I started during quarantine. It was just a spur of the
Wow.
moment type of thing. Yeah, you know how everyone has like that one thing that they did like during quarantine. That was my one thing that I picked up. And it's
Wow.
funny because as a child, I had this lady. She's a really good friend of mine, and she I call her my sister, my god sister, all the time. She actually did pageants when I was a little girl, and I used to kind of go to her pageants and see her twirling the baton and all of the cute stuff, just doing pageants because she's only like maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. And so just seeing her do that, I remember singing in the crowd. My mom like, I don't want to do this. Like, what is this? I was like, I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to do any of this. And then like 20 years later, here we are, doing
Wow.
pageants, doing all of that. This year as well, I've also been able to meet lovely people like yourself and just get out and
Oh,
express
thank you.
myself a lot more, and doing a lot of public speaking engagements and starting my own mentorship business. So That's me. That's a lot of like, what I do on a day-to-day basis.
That, yeah. Yep, you do a lot. So,
You're
but
like,
that's
that sounds about right.
you do a lot. That's very cool though. And so, but your work, and like I said, it was just really cool because one of the first conversations we had, here at my studio, that's
Hmm.
I've been here and I'm still here. I've been here a long time today. I'm not complaining, but just it's an observation. So one of the first conversations we had, was about wellness and nutrition, and and that's just very near and dear to me. And earlier, I had a conversation with another queen friend of ours, Rebecca, and
Hmm.
and me being a plus size model and plus size pageant person, I was just kind of, having the conversation like, it doesn't equate bad health any more than a thin person equates having good health.
Absolutely.
And, we were having the conversation about just some of the things that people, can do and to better their life. And I think one of the things that you're very passionate about that I could definitely relate to, is on the wellness spectrum is prevention, and I know you're
Hmm.
very passionate about disease prevention and just,
Hmm.
things that people can do, to just be better. And so without like giving anybody, like any shoulds, but, just about your passion about the prevention, like tell me a little bit more about, where that came from.
Yeah, so for primary prevention, I actually didn't really get the hang of it until maybe like a year or so ago. My mom, she has always had a lot of health problems, and a lot of the things were hereditary. And I started realizing over the years, like, okay, as my mom, is getting older, she's starting to go through certain things. There's a high prominence of high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, everything in the Black community in general. And
Hmm.
so I started to really dive in and dissect a lot of the things that we go through. And a lot of them are preventable. Not many people know this, but a lot of them are preventable and reversible. Like,
Hmm.
yes, it runs in your family, but you can also reverse it, and you can also figure out ways that work for you that'll best help your health in general. And
Right.
so for me, primary care, being in medical school, we learned a lot, of course, about primary care and during doing clinicals and being with people of different races. And so you kind of get to see a lot of how some people, the reason that their disease is so bad is because they haven't been to the doctor in 4 years, or they haven't made an appointment with their gynecologist and now they have a certain cancer. So a lot of the different things that I've seen, as a medical student and as a medical professional, it just gave me the oomph to just go forward and be like, okay, this is something that people need to know, because not a lot of people know that preventative medicine is one of the top ways of becoming a healthier, better person.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like literally today, I was driving, driving in, and I've been waking up, a little more congested, like a lot of people are right now, with the weather
Hmm.
change, whatever the reason. And, we were talking before how, I'm like, okay, I'm just all pumped up on my D3s and I'm doing all the things.
Right.
And then I was just kind of like, okay. And I took a deep breath because, I was a little congested from the morning and choked up or whatever. And then I thought, you know what? On the way home or whenever it's a little late tonight, I'm like, but I need to get myself some peppermint tea. Peppermint always makes me feel better.
I
Even
love
if you,
tea.
you take a piece of peppermint
Yeah.
candy and instantly you know how like it clears up your sinuses and you breathe better. So I remember like I would have peppermint more and then like a eucalyptus candle and maybe like a lavender candle and just,
Hmm.
having some home remedies.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do that a lot too. So I really enjoy tea in general. I'm a big tea drinker. I love chamomile tea, Earl Grey, chai tea. I'm a tea drinker in general. So I'm 100% for taking care of yourself at home and making sure that you're okay, because like I said, if you're not okay, your work's not going to get done. Nothing
Right.
around your life and your circle is going to get done if you're not okay. And your health should be number one.
Yeah, it kind of, and I'm not afraid of anything going wrong,
Hmm.
but as we both gear up and have 1 week before this next competition of ours,
Yes. Yes.
Ariana and I are sharing a stage in different divisions, but she's representing the Miss division and I'll be in
Hmm.
the Mrs. division. But as it gets closer, you start to you second think about like lifting anything heavy. I know I'm a lot older than you, but I'm like, I almost like rethink, do I want to lift that? It's so heavy. I don't want to hurt myself. It's like I'm not
Yeah.
paranoid, but I'm almost like, okay, what else can
Mhm.
I do just to make sure, I don't have like a throbbing headache in the morning. And that's actually how I got into the whole peppermint thing because, if I
Mhm.
have a piece of peppermint or drink peppermint tea at night, I'm not as congested. And I know the congestion is a lot of times what used to lead to, some of the sinus headaches and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of funny. So tell me, like, what are speaking of pageants, and I'm still trying to get my pageant hair together, still
Absolutely.
there. Like, why is that such a thing? So pageant hair and stage and shoes and all the things. So what is like your favorite part about pageant prep, or where are you right now?
Ooh.
One
My
week before.
Yes, so 1 week before, I usually do a lot of pageant prep in general, like months in advance, because I do try to apply for these pageants months in advance, just so I can give
Mhm.
myself some time to prepare. And so for this particular pageant, I think I applied maybe 3 or 4 months before the actual pageant date. And so I've had a lot of time to prepare with my public speaking gigs, as well as, what I want to do for my hair, trying different things out with makeup and shoes, and breaking shoes in and buying new shoes, sending shoes back. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I think my favorite part, Rafael, about this entire process would probably have to be just being able to learn how to public speak and being able to have a platform and to express myself thoroughly about this platform and to meet different people, like you. That event, just sparked my interest more in being there for other pageant queens because, yeah, it's a competition, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends. That doesn't mean we can't, have a conversation or talk to each other and feedback
Mhm.
off of each other. So I think my favorite part would probably have to be, like I said, meeting other girls and just having conversations with them and being able to just have a connection with everyone. And then the hair too. The hair is also my favorite part. I really love getting it. I don't know. It's something about getting your hair done for a pageant. I usually get my
Mhm.
hair done like 2 days before or a night before. And when I just see the final look, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I was going for.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, my hair's in a little bun today because it's been raining, but eventually I'll have my pageant hair and everything.
Well, the last time that we had met up, I was sharing with you how I was still like so torn. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just, but I will tell you, and one thing I shared with Rebecca earlier, we were talking about, I said, but I feel like because of headshots, and as an image consultant is one thing, but when I was a model scout, I would tell, this is one thing I would tell clients.
Hmm.
I would say, here is something that, not everybody knows, but how you show up for like the audition, if you make it to the finals, is kind of how you have to show up for the callback.
Yeah.
And so when I was choosing, I thought, okay, what's the look I have for my pictures? So the picture that's in the program book, what's the look that's on my social media profile? And this is kind of it. So now I'm
Hmm.
leaning more towards, okay, I have to kind of look like my pictures as much as
I was
possible.
thinking, yeah, I was thinking the same thing as well. Because a lot of my pageant pictures, I do have like a little curl, like a body wave type of
Mm-hmm.
curl, but a lot of my pageant pictures, I have straight hair. And
Right.
so I was thinking of that. And then I was like, God, I hope this doesn't rain. I have natural hair. For those of you who know what natural hair is, I have natural hair. So I was like, I hope it doesn't rain this weekend. My hair is going to be straight. So yeah, just the whole process of like the hair, it's definitely a big deal. And like you said, not a lot of people know this, but pageant day, we're literally there all day. So we're at the
Mm,
studio where the theater where we're gonna have the pageant at all day long. And
right.
so that means fixing up hair and makeup in between sets, in between prelim and final shows, all of that. So there's a lot going on backstage. You guys probably just have to do it just to see how it is.
Yeah, because I have, so some pageant queens are tuning into this and they'll watch this. But yeah, there's some people who are anticipating, being in a pageant. And so that's one reason why, well, it started back, rewind, like, so this all started with me wanting to do the Behind the Crown documentary.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then, it kind of spun off into me wanting to do, well, first it was the book. And
Mhm.
then because I'm a video person, I thought, oh, well, how cool to do like a Pageant Queen series. And then I'll do a documentary. And then the book will kind of be like a spinoff of one, they'll kind of feed off of each other. And
Right, right, of
literally,
course.
I was thinking, like, okay, but I feel like almost, and I've been a mystery shopper. I've had some really funny jobs, but one of the jobs I had was a mystery shopper. I've been an undercover insider before. And I
Mhm.
thought, the coolest way, even though I competed, was Miss Virginia like in 1998, it was 25 years ago. I
Mhm.
thought the coolest way to kind of get the inside information would be to walk the walk again.
Do it. Yeah. Just do it
And
again.
yeah, and when God put it on my heart, to okay, you need to be in the pageant. So
Mhm.
literally for me, being able, like you said, to just meet all these amazing queens, and I was writing little notes because yes, I mean little spoiler alert, I have like little notes and stuff for like
Okay.
everybody at the pageant. So as I'm handwriting
You're
like all
writing your
the little
notes, yeah.
things and signing it, I thought this is why I did this, in the
Mhm.
midst of the hair and the prep. And, like you said, it's a competition, but it doesn't mean that you can't have a conversation. It literally was like, you know what? This reminds me of why I did this. I did this because, of just, it's not just the relationships that you can create, because that's very cliche, but I just
Yeah.
think it's so cool that, oh my God, I feel like an insider. And so
Yeah,
I,
you are a pageant insider. You've been doing it for so long now. You know the ins and the outs.
it's got to be fun, but it's got to be so fun that, we were able to kind of, create this relationship um, before the pageant. And
Absolutely.
now, we could kind of get to go and we have, a couple friends in the audience that'll be cheering us on, which is
Mhm.
very cool. And I don't know, I just think there's so much more that comes out of it. And that's really what I want people to know about pageants, that
Yeah.
we have personalities and careers and we're intelligent,
Absolutely.
and it's
Absolutely.
beyond beauty. It's like not
Yeah.
beyond beauty, my business name, but it's more than that.
No pun intended. But
I
yeah,
know.
it's definitely more than just, a pretty face and having the look. I know in the Miss category, me and Taylor Reynolds, both of us have like a doctorate degree. So both of us are doctors.
Hmm.
So just having that two of the same, different, she's a doctor of pharmacy, and of course I'm doing my doctorate of medicine, but just having that in the same, field and vicinity of each other, that's amazing because you don't get that often.
Right.
You don't get that too often. And then a lot of people too, they don't talk about the fact that pageantry opens doors for so many other things. Just
Mm,
having the opportunity to speak at different schools and different functions, being an actress, a lawyer, doctor, anything. You can do anything with pageantry. A couple of people have gone on to do The Bachelor. They've gone on to do TV shows and model in Paris and Milan. It's a lot
wow.
of different, yeah, it's a lot of different things that, pageantry can open doors for. And I know for a fact, you never know who's going to be in the audience. I've had
Right.
times where, I've gotten off stage and audience members have come up to me and say, hey, I work for this sort of company in New York. This is what I do. I do modeling for this company. Here's my business card. So it's just different things that people don't know about pageantry and how they can definitely open doors for you, especially if you're looking for a certain type of career in the entertainment business.
Yeah, agreed. Some of the best opportunities I got were definitely as a result of somebody knowing that I was Miss Such and Such. I
Yeah,
always like to say, or even like you said, sometimes it's not even having like the title, but the
yeah.
fact that you just gain exposure from being
Hmm.
in that place. I remember the first one of the my earlier pageants. I looked around and like, oh my God, I'm in New York, like performing on stage in New York,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is one of my biggest dreams ever. Now, it was for the competition. I wasn't getting like paid to be in the, but it still literally was like, I'm like, oh my God, like what other opportunity could have given me an opportunity to be on a stage in New York and like, singing my song? That was just
Exactly.
so cool. I just thought that that
Exactly.
was so cool. So,
That, and then a lot of pageants too, the packages, like the prize packages, are really good. I know a lot of pageants do like scholarships and different things. So, it's not just about having a look anymore. You have to have substance. You have to be an all around great person for pageantry nowadays. Because I
mhm,
mean, you don't get me wrong, it used to be, you have to look a certain way, you have to have a pretty face, you have to do this, this, and this. But now I feel like pageantry, a lot of people look for someone who is a people person who can actually hold a conversation with someone. They're not just pretty, they have careers, they have goals, they have dreams. We have platforms now,
right.
so it's different things. It's different things like that that I feel like a lot of people should know about pageantry.
Yep. And my advice is like the best way to learn about it is to be about
Do
it.
it.
You
Do the
have to do the
pageant.
thing. Yes, just go do one.
Do the things. Yeah.
So cool. God, that's so true. All right, Ariana. So, I love it. You had so many good nuggets because I like to ask you like, what would be your advice for someone who wants to get into pageants, but not really sure, if it's for
Hmm.
them. I think we probably already answered it, but what would be like your advice, from, one, especially not even from a young person to another young
Yeah.
person? Because I think that your story will still inspire and hopefully the combination together, me coming back
Hmm.
at age 49, like if that does not inspire people of all ages.
I don't know what will.
Y'all
Y'all
literally
have the
have
time.
opposite ends of the spectrum, like right
Exactly.
here. You have
Exactly.
right here. We represent women of color. We represent, you
Hmm.
know, different generations. We represent, plus size, straight size. We represent all the things just between the two of
All
us
the
right
things,
here.
yeah, all the things.
All the
We
things
represent
right
all the
here.
things here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
everything you need is definitely in this video. But my advice to people who do want to start pageants and they're like, I don't know, I don't think I'm pretty enough, I don't think I'm skinny enough, this, and this, do it. My advice would just be to do it. Find, number one, find an organization that fits in with how you are, with your beliefs, with what you feel is right, and how you feel they portray the women that they put forth to have these titles. Pick an
Mhm.
organization that you enjoy. So for me, I know I've competed in about, I think, two other organizations. But I will say the organization that me and Ralph share together, that we're both competing for on Monday, I think Monday the 10th.
Columbus Day, yes.
Yeah, Monday
Columbus
the
Day.
10th. Yeah, Columbus Day.
Mo-
The platform that we both share, and then just being able to compete for this pageant in general, I've noticed that this pageant accepts you where you are, and they accept who you are as a person. Yeah, it's great if you have the look, it's great that you're pretty, it's great that you can walk in a straight line, you won't fall on stage, different things like that. But this pageantry system in general takes you as you are, and they are proud of you, they are proud to show you off. They are proud of who you are, whether you're curvy, whether you're plus size, whether you're skinny, it doesn't matter with this pageant. What matters is who you are and how you speak, how you enunciate yourself, and how you get your point across. And so for me, I remember being maybe 18, 19 years old. I was on that edge because, remember, I said I didn't start until quarantine happened. So
right.
I was on that edge. I was on that edge for a long time, just, being in the pageant light and seeing, my god sister do it and seeing a couple other people that I knew do it. I was 19 years old and I was sitting there and I was like, I really would enjoy doing pageants because I feel like this is going to get me out of my shell. I want to do a pageant. I really would love to do it.
Mm,
But I was like, I'm not skinny enough. That was the number one thing for me. I was like, I'm not skinny enough. And then I was like, I'm not pretty enough. I have a big forehead. It was just a lot of different things that I was saying
wow.
to myself to talk myself out of doing pageants. I was like, just just different things that I've been told over the years. And so I was like, I can't do this. Like this isn't gonna do anything for me. This isn't gonna work. I'm never gonna win. Just telling myself those type of things at
Mm,
age 19. And
wow.
so after I did my research. I would encourage you all to do your research, like I said, and find different pageant systems that work for you. But after doing my research, I realized, yes, you can be pretty, but it's not just about being pretty. I was like, I have a lot going for myself. I know what I
Right.
want to do with my future. I can enunciate myself well. I can talk to people and tell them about my
Mm-hmm.
platform. I can also tell them about the things that I've been through. I was like, I can do this. And
Right.
so at 20 years old, when I was, during quarantine, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get in my best shape that I've ever been in. I'm going to speak loudly. I'm going to speak boldly about my viewpoints, and I'm not going to let anyone stop me. And so I feel as if, you can do it. You absolutely can do it as long as you put your mind towards, wanting to do pageants and preparing, and know that, it's not just about the look or how you look. Cause like I said, I'm not the skinniest person in the world. I'm a curvy girl. I've always been curvy my entire life. So to come into myself and to come into the person that I'm supposed to be while doing pageants, it was a beautiful thing because pageants definitely boosted my confidence level. I came in nervous and scared, saying, "Oh, I'm not that pretty. I'm not, that skinny." And then coming out saying, "Oh my God, like I actually won Miss Richmond." Like what? I
Wow.
actually did, like I actually talked on stage. I actually talked to judges and was able to speak at these different events. So it's like doing a pageant for me helped me a lot. It helped me overcome different struggles that I had with confidence. So I would say just do it. If even if you're not confident, there's a quote. It says, do it scared, do it afraid, do it not ready. Just do it where you are because you
Right.
never know what you can do until you do it.
Yep.
So I would just say do it.
Yep.
For me,
That I
I'm
love
like do
it.
it.
I love it. That is a look. I'm still like trying to look. Still, as we're talking about, it's not about the look. I'm like, I know y'all, but y'all
No.
just we have like we're post hurricane, so everybody is like looking at their hair, like everybody. Um,
Listen, mine is in a bun because of this hurricane. So I was like, I just straightened my hair for this pageant. I'm not going anywhere. I'm putting my hair in a bun. I'm staying in the house.
yeah, it's funny, but yeah, that's what. So that's what this is. This isn't vanity, which I don't apologize for either, because
Yeah, of course.
you just kind of when you're looking at yourself, you just kind of notice. But we are post hurricane, I will say, is my disclaimer. But I just, yeah, that's wonderful. Like us, yeah, I agree 100%. It definitely just gives you the confidence that you need to do the thing. Do the thing and you will get the strength to do the thing. Yes.
Right.
I believe that's Bob Proctor. I don't know, I listen to a lot of people and quotes and stuff, but
Yeah.
and it is, you get the confidence to do the thing.
Hmm.
There is nothing um, cooler to me, like when people talk about, like if you want to get, confident, or break the ice with this, a pageant that has swimsuit competition in heels in front of
Oh my
strangers.
gosh.
I mean, why not?
That's
Why
yeah.
not?
And when I think about it now, I'm like, that's a little extreme for me to have done to gain confidence. Walk in front of a bunch of thousands, of hundreds of strangers in a swimsuit and heels, and
Yeah,
mind you, 6-inch heels at that.
yeah,
Hopefully, hoping
it's
that I
funny.
won't fall in a two piece. I was not in a one piece, y'all. I have never worn a one piece for any pageant. I was in a two piece at that. I y'all saying I could barely wear a two piece at the beach. So the fact that I wore a two piece for the pageant, I was
I
like, you
love
know
it.
what? We just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it.
I love it. I think that is wonderful. I commend you. I am
Thank
looking
you.
forward to 1 week from today.
Yes, we're gonna share the stage together for the first time ever.
I know that is so much fun. We have another queen who is like who I've been friendly with all year. We just met
Mhm.
on social media. Did not even realize we were going to become queens in the same pageant. Like
Right.
it just kind of fell into place that way. But literally earlier this year, we kind of formed a relationship, and then
Hmm.
we kind of were like, oh, this is so cool. But yes, we're going to share the stage. So I told her, I was like, we are going to make this so fun that no matter what happens, we know that we walked away just having like the
Right.
bomb time like ever. Like,
Exactly, and then we're doing a lot of tours in DC as well. So it's just gonna be a fun weekend in general. No matter
yeah.
what happens, it's just gonna be fun. Just being around all the girls and having those building those type of relationships. It's just gonna be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll come back and we'll have to like post pageant, not right away, because I'm
Yeah,
taking
I
two
was about
weeks
to
off.
say. I was
Not
about to
right
say, can we
away.
come back? Can we come back and do like a debriefing,
We
15 minutes of
we're
fame?
gonna definitely do it, but I am on like a 2 week sabbatical, and so it's gonna be a little while before I do.
Well, that depends because if you win, you're not gonna have 2 weeks. So
Do we
it
really not
depends.
get 2 weeks off if we win? I
I
don't
think
know.
you
We'll
get like
see.
3 days. We'll see. You might get 3 days, girl. We'll see.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that. But anyway, yeah, I'll have to. Anyway, yes, that'll be another story for another
We're
day.
gonna do a debriefing.
Yes, that's so funny. But anyway, thank you again, Ariana. I'm so grateful for you, and I just appreciate everything that you're doing. And I already feel better. I have, um, you know, feelings about the medical industry that I won't really get into. And my sister's in the
Right.
medical field, and so is my daughter. And I've shared with you some of my concerns, but
Exactly.
you actually make me feel like, okay, you and people like my sister and my daughter make me feel like, oh, wow, there actually is hope.
Thank you
There
so
is hope.
much. Oh my gosh, I
There's
feel
hope.
like that's the biggest compliment because a lot of people are afraid of doctors. There is a thing as white coat syndrome. So we walk in with our white coats, and everybody's blood pressure starts going up. They get a little scared. It's a thing. So for you to say that, that actually makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm doing something correct.
Yeah. And it's only going to get better. But no, you actually make me feel like there is hope. So I
Thank
thank you for
you.
that. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you a week from today.
Yes.
Ah,
In
it's getting real.
Arlington.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo. All right. So thank you so much again, Ariana, and to everybody. Oh, and
Of
I am going to have
course.
Ariana's information here in the show notes so you can follow her journey and just learn more about her.
Yes.
I'll definitely have her information for you. But again, thank you. And here's to you becoming the best version of you.